Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So basically, Coach, our goal here is to inform our viewers about some strategies that anyone can use when they're feeling anxious. Anxiety is an excessive worry about things that could go wrong. How do you view anxiety overall as it relates to mental health?
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on to talk about this. I'll definitely start off by saying I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, but I have always been interested in kind of how the mind works. My dad's been a licensed counselor for his entire career, so just between a lot of conversations with him and some books and lots of experience working with student athletes, I'm happy to share some of the stuff that I've learned. I think it's first important to understand that there are different degrees of anxiety, and all humans experience it to some extent. It's definitely not something that you just want to kind of avoid or plow through like it's not there. And one of the most important things you can do is become more aware of your thoughts and your feelings, and not necessarily attach judgment to those thoughts and feelings, but it is really important to be aware of them.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of being aware, how how is it that you can just change your thoughts when you're going down like a negative path?
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, you want to do a little self-evaluation and see if you think you're naturally more optimistic or more pessimistic. Optimism is really the belief that something good is about to happen, and pessimists believe that something bad's about to happen. So, if you are more pessimistic, you definitely have a little bit of work to do with some of this stuff to get yourself in a more positive, kind of optimistic state of mind, because that's really where you want to spend more time as opposed to in that negative kind of anxious state of mind. So, um, like I mentioned earlier, this all really starts with awareness. So, if we become aware of a negative thought in our mind, the first thing that we want to do is kind of ask ourselves, is that thought true 100% of the time? So let's imagine, Jordan, that you've got a really big day ahead and you're super overwhelmed and feeling a little bit anxious. What might be one negative thought that might kind of get in your way, or cause some anxiety going into that day?
Yeah. An overwhelming thought would be something like, I have too much to do, or I can't handle it. I'll never make progress. Uh, especially being a college student, there's so much that could go wrong in just a given day.
Right. Right. And so once you kind of are aware of yourself having those thoughts and you realize that that's not true 100% of the time, you've done this stuff before. You've really put in the work. You've been successful. Those are kind of the things that you can rephrase into a more positive light. Maybe it's saying something like, again, I've done this before. I can do this. I can do difficult things, and just kind of flip that perspective to get you into a more positive state, going into the day. So I think that this is also a good way to build confidence. Just a quick little exercise to flip yourself into a more positive state of mind so that you know that you can do difficult things, and that, even if something does go wrong, it's going to make you better. There's just all sorts of examples of how this stuff can actually help you grow, as opposed to just leave you in this kind of fearful state of anxiety.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, awesome. So on the topic of controlling and like things you can and can't control, how do you deal with things that are outside of your control and like the worry that comes with it?
Yeah, well, I think ultimately there's really only four things that you have the capacity to control 100% of the time. And that's your thoughts, your attitude, your effort, and your actions. So anything that happens that are outside of those four things, you really don't have much control over. So kind of a good little exercise to do, really any day that you have something important coming up, instead of really just worrying about the outcome of that thing, maybe it's a big test, or a big game or something like that. Instead of just worrying about the outcome, write down three things before it happens, that you can really focus on that are in your control. So I'm going to have a great attitude going into this game. I'm going to give 100% effort, and I'm going to be, supportive and a great teammate regardless of the outcome. So then when you kind of go back and kind of evaluate how your day was, you're really basing it on, you know, how well you did the things that you wrote down that were under your control, as opposed to the outcome or something that might have happened that was ultimately outside of your control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. If someone is just more like of a pessimistic person in general, is there anything they could do to be more optimistic?
Yeah, this one's interesting. There was a study that was done a while back, and it was called the researcher of good, or the researcher of awesome. And if you kind of wake up every morning and you think of yourself, you know, as a researcher of good, looking for good things that happen throughout your day, and then at the end of the day, you write down 3 things that happen, and then the 3 emotions that were kind of connected with those good things. You know, the study showed that it really helped people become more optimistic. You know, people that were clinically depressed stabilized a little bit at the end of the study. And it's just a really simple way to be looking for good things that happen, as opposed to just always kind of dwelling on the negative things that happen throughout the day. And again, that's a way to create a little bit more optimism, and ultimately that's going to lead to a little bit less anxiety as well.
Yeah, that's a great study. It's helped me a lot for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for listening. That concludes this section. Here are some resources on campus to help with anxiety. The counseling office, which is located in the Freeman Center, closer to the Warwick Boulevard side. Also in the Freeman Center, there are yoga and meditation classes, which are great for anxiety because of they show you the benefits of being mindful of your body and breathing. And also, coaches and professors have open door policies, which allow you to reach out to them in any sort of crisis situation, or if you're just feeling anxious about a test or quiz. The most important thing is not to be afraid to ask for help, whether it is through a close friend, a counselor, a teacher, professor, whatever. Especially during this pandemic, studies have shown that almost 40% of Americans are more anxious this year than ever, so you're not alone. Thank you, Coach, for doing this and helping spread awareness. I'm sure that people really enjoy this.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jordan. Appreciate it.